Zack Morris is trash.
What up? Like 3 years ago at this job I used to work at, some dude, a work friend, he told me about this series of videos from Funny or Die called Zack Morris is Trash. Each one of these episodes breaks down what he did throughout the course of an episode. And it really makes you think. Like when I used to watch these episodes of Saved by the Bell when I was a wee lad, Saved by the Bell and then its predecessor, Good Morning Miss Bliss, I remember Zack being a little scamp. Just a whimsy little scamp, a made-for-TV Ferris Bueller. Holy shit, he would be canceled today. Like, this show wouldn't be cool today. You know what I mean? So I thought I would watch these and just sort of, react to him, seeing the things that he did that at the time I thought were just cool and funny, because they're presented to you that way. This show was meant for like kids and teenagers, and I was 9 to like 13 when I just like watch him. So not only are you a kid and you don't really understand the gravity of what he's doing, but it's presented to you as this thing these cool kids do in high school. And you think this is what high school is. Think this is what you think high school is going to be to a degree. I mean, I didn't think this is what high school is going to be like necessarily, but so yeah, let's see what the modern day's light shined on this reveals about what type of man Zack Morris was. This episode is called The Time Zack Morris Lied About Being Jewish to Go to a Baseball Game. Yikes. And you know what? I kind of remember this episode. So let's jump in and see what a real rat bastard Zack Morris was. Well, he still would be.
Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris wants to go to a Dodgers game, but can't come up with a good excuse to miss school. He was going to say his grandma died, but he already said that 4 times last.
Classic Zack.
Zack's math teacher, who is so Jewish, he actually says, "I'm Jewish." Yikes.
Yeah.
Reminds everyone that Rosh Hashanah is tomorrow and he'll be at home. That gives Zack the bright idea.
I'm your math teacher. I'm Jewish.
One of the holiest days of the year just to go watch baseball. Also, he thinks of a menorah, which isn't even the right holiday, but whatever. Meanwhile, Jessie has a shitty new stepbrother, Eric, from New York, who watches a tape of the game, sees
I remember that
foul
prick.
ball in the crowd, and blackmails Zack for the most petty shit. The baseball he caught and trading lockers. And instead of handing over the baseball and lockers, Zack hatches an insanely elaborate reverse blackmail scheme. Zack bribes Lisa with MC Hammer tickets to go on a date with Eric, who by the way has been stalking and harassing Lisa for days, just so he can get a picture of Eric driving Lisa in Principal Belding's new car. And how did Zack get access to the car?
It's like the devil battling Hitler.
Slater
Jesus
to install
Christ,
a
dude.
CD player, even when Slater said he didn't have the time. Then he had Slater tell Eric he could borrow it.
It's like Trump and Giuliani trying to blackmail each other, just real pieces of shit, being pieces of shit to each other.
And when Screech tries to take the blackmail picture, Lisa crashes
I remember
the
this, dude.
car. Timeout. Damage to the car aside, Zack sent Lisa on a date with a guy he thought was a total creep, had her unknowingly drive a stolen car, then caused her to get in a car accident. She could have been paralyzed forever. It was 1991. Nobody was wearing any goddamn seatbelts.
She was actually, but that's not the point.
He holds an illegal ticket raffle, because we all remember those.
Yeah, right.
Where students can buy a
Again, this is totally what high school was like. I remember illegal ticket raffles.
He needs to repair the car. Zack rigs the raffle so Screech wins. When Eric threatens to expose the scam, Zack tells him the only reason Lisa went on the date was for the MC Hammer tickets, like a total fucking bitch coward. Eric confronts Lisa, now their new relationship is ruined.
Oh, and I remember she actually did like him too.
His friends cry in public at the place where they hang out every day. Zack left the damaged car in the auto shop class, where cars regularly get taken apart, so the car gets taken apart. Not the smartest place to leave a car, Zack.
I do remember auto shop, and we didn't just dismantle entire cars in a day. I do.
And straight up punches her new brother in the face. So now she's involved with the domestic violence incident before she has a high school diploma. Eric puts the car back together out of fear of getting his ass.
And one dude could totally put a car together.
Out about anything, and Zack gets off completely
What?
Eric wisely decides he should go back to New York, but then the gang shows up and says he should stay. Only we never see Eric's ass again. So like, who knows what happened to Eric? Probably fucking killed him.
My God, dude.
Zack manipulated his friends at every turn into doing his dirty work. Got Lisa involved in a felony car theft punctuated by an accident where she could have been killed. Broke 2 young lovers' hearts, stole money from every kid in school, made Jessie punch her new brother in the face, and sent this guy back to New York 5 minutes after he got there. All
5 minutes after he got there, and then was accepted.
Baseball game. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
You know, it's funny because like just watching these as a kid, you just don't really know like how the world works. I mean, stuff's illegal, stealing's illegal, all that kind of stuff. But it's just like you just don't see those type of acts for really what they are until you're an adult. Anyway, so that was the first episode. We're gonna do 2 more. The Time Zack Morris Made a Girl in a Wheelchair Feel Terrible. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
Principal Belding calls the students into his office to pick a senior class community service project. Zack shows up late because he was stealing a kid's breakfast and sexually harassing his first girl of the day.
As Zack
Tori
does.
suggests a teen line where youths can anonymously call.
I remember
their phone.
Tori. She was the
only
worst.
rules, never ask a caller for their last name, never ask for their home numbers, and never ask to meet up with them. So naturally,
Like they needed to replace Jessie, but like they didn't want a carbon copy.
The first call Zack gets is from a girl he decides must be hot because of her voice. He asks her last name, where she
That's how
lives,
that works.
and asks her out on a date. When Zack shows up for the date at the Max on tablecloth day, I guess, because I've never seen tablecloths in this place before or since, he discovers she's in a wheelchair.
Tablecloth
He handles the situation
day?
with class and grace by saying,
Whoa, you're in a wheelchair.
They just needed a
Zack then
reason to
asks
cover
me
her
thoughtful and sensitive
wheelchair.
questions. Why didn't you tell me you're in a wheelchair? And do you mind if I ask how it happened? Which are two great questions to ask anyone in a wheelchair the first time you meet them. Melissa tells Zack she was just born this way, and his answer is, I'm really sorry. Zack introduces Melissa to the gang with a casual opener.
Melissa's handicapped, but she's really comfortable with it, so let's get over it, okay?
When Slater invites Melissa
He
to
clearly
volunteer
isn't.
at the teen line, Zack tells her she can watch him in action. Presumably the action of trying to coerce more troubled kids who sound hot into meeting up for a cheeseburger and a handjob. Melissa helps a girl with real advice about body image and accepting herself.
This
Zack
narrator
remarks,
fucks.
Even though she's handicapped, she gave Kathy perfect advice.
Yep, Melissa, that face
Stop
is the
batting
correct
for her,
response.
dude.
Zack asks her on another date that she for some reason agrees to. Zack tells the movie theater manager to call the cops on someone who parked in the handicapped space, then complains that Melissa shouldn't have to pay full price for a ticket if she's not even using one of their seats. When the
Oh
movie
my
starts,
God,
he asks
dude.
the guy in front of Melissa to please slump down because my date is in a wheelchair. Yup, Melissa, once again, that's the right face. Belding
This
tells
is so
everyone the bad news is the
cringy.
school budget's been cut, so no more teen line for Zack to prey upon vulnerable peers. But instead of letting this disaster quietly go away, Zack organizes
an idea.
a charity wheelchair
Zack has an
basketball
idea.
game in
Oh,
what looks
okay.
like the saddest gym of all time.
It
Everything's
really-
going okay.
that
not
really does
great,
look like
but
a
fine,
fake ass.
until Zack gives a speech at the end of the game.
I want another round of applause for the real star of today's game. The only one who has to be in a wheelchair all the time, Melissa
Has to
Donahue.
be.
Come on, guys.
Melissa face strikes again. Melissa tells Zack he's a jerk. Zack stumbles through a half-assed apology that Melissa accepts, and they kind of suggest they might start dating now. Only we never see
see her
Melissa
again?
So
Yes,
who knows what
yes.
happened there? Probably fucking killed her.
Same with what's his
Let's
tits from
review.
the
Zack
same
Morris used his
episode.
mandatory community service role at an anonymous teen helpline to lure an emotionally vulnerable girl into a date, then proceeded to make her feel bad about being in a wheelchair every single chance he got, including in front of every single person at school. Zack
Dude,
Morris is trash.
It's trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
I mean, is that going to be this dude's shtick? Like, it's going to be like, and then, but it alludes to them being a part of the gang, only we'll never see him again. Probably because they killed himself. I wonder if that's going to be like the thing. Pulling up the next one. This one is called The Time Zack Morris Told Everyone Slater Was Dying, so he'd move to Hawaii. I do remember that those two were thick as thieves, but it didn't always start that way. They were intense rivals because they both wanted, not Jessie. Jessie was Slater's consolation prize for not getting, what was her name? Tiffani Amber Thiessen. What's her name in the goddamn show? Kelly. Okay. But they were intense rivals when they were competing for Kelly Kapowski. I remember they got in a fight in the locker room once, and I remember thinking like, Slater would whoop his fucking ass, dude. But it ended in like a standstill.
And what if I don't, punk? Then I'll just have to make you, punk.
But yeah, the time Zack Morris told everyone Slater was dying, so he moved to Hawaii. Sounds like it was one of those things where he was trying to get him out of the picture because he was jealous and worried that Kelly would choose him. So let's see if that was what this was about.
Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris won third place in a track meet and mistakenly thinks his ribbon is something to brag about. Slater shows up with a real trophy for winning a wrestling
He was a
match,
real athlete.
stealing Zack's thunder, and finally giving Kelly a suitor worthy of her Kelly hugs. Zack deals with this like a man. Just kidding, he turns into a total fucking psycho. After a trophy ceremony, where
Just
Zack
kidding.
puts his dumb ribbon in the trash where it belongs, Zack meets Slater's father in the hall. Slater's dad is looking for Principal Belding, so Zack points him in the opposite direction of his office. Why? because Zack got a great idea. That idea? Cramming his best friend into the principal's filing cabinet.
That's how those
private conversation.
That's how file cabinets work.
Information for personal gain. Papa Slater tells Belding he's transferring to Hawaii and taking Slater.
He looks like he could have been Slater's dad.
Tells his dad he's made great friends at Bayside and isn't sure if he can leave them. Slater's dad tells him he can decide if they move. Screech, who is unable to stand after Zack left him trapped in a filing cabinet, breaks the news. He adds that if Slater stays at Bayside, Zack can consider himself a dead man with Kelly. This gives Zack another great idea.
He would have been.
Then he abandons his injured friend
Well, he
for the
did.
second time in one day.
He did get Kelly, actually.
Zack's new great
They ended up
idea.
getting married,
He tells
so.
the gang Slater is dying of a rare disease.
It's called mumbio-quadrelation osis.
Definitely not something a
doesn't sound made
sociopath
up.
would
And
do
the only
on
possible
any
cure
level.
is a clinic in Hawaii. But because Slater's a dumb jock who just wants to hang out with his friends, the only way he'll go is if everyone is super mean to him in what might be his final days on Earth.
His
Zack
friends
begins
were
his
also
gaslighting
so
campaign
like
by
there's
telling the
such
gang that
there's
symptoms
such
of
to blame.
Slater's condition include memory loss, itching, and sneezing. Zack asked Slater why he wasn't in the weight room last
They were
period when
enabling
made plans
idiots.
to be in the weight room last period. Slater doesn't remember making these plans because they never made these plans. This causes his friends to burst into tears, much to Zack's delight.
Idiots.
Zack shoves an armful of pepper up Slater's nose, making him sneeze. Then he mercilessly dumps Screech's beloved ant farm down Slater's
I remember
throat,
this, the
making
way
him
he's-
look like
yeah.
he just smoked crack. Having adequately terrified the gang into believing Slater is on his deathbed, they go along with Zack's plan to treat him like dog shit so he'll want to move to Hawaii.
'Cause that's a normal
They
way to
say
itch.
super mean stuff to a friend they think is terminally ill, which is traumatic for all parties involved. Then Zack casually reveals Slater's prize trophy has been stolen. Zack's sadistic game of human chess works, and Slater tells the gang,
I'm moving to Hawaii.
then Kelly drops this bomb.
I'm going with him.
Whoops, bet you didn't see
That's
that one
something high school girls are allowed
Slater
to
asks
do.
why she wants to go, and Kelly says Zack told her he's dying. Slater goes along with it in the hopes of teaching Zack a much-deserved lesson.
Good
Slater
for
tells
you,
Zack he
Slater.
changed his mind about Hawaii, but for some reason needs Zack to talk to his dad, who is already committed. Slater's dad agrees to help teach Zack a lesson, and he finally confesses after
See,
being
Slater
violently
never-
terrorized and threatened by a live grenade. Meanwhile, the gang is throwing Slater a going-away party, which Zack crashes to return the trophy.
I like how
instead.
Slater would
Slater
check
reveals
Zack
he
like
wasn't sick
that.
and was playing along to teach Zack a lesson. But because he was forced to stoop to Zack's level, the friends he picked over Hawaii are disgusted and turn their backs on him. Slater shows remorse, but Zack assures him it's fine and they'll get over it because they always do, because he always does shit like this. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Zack Morris crammed his best friend in a filing cabinet, causing potentially permanent spinal damage, convinced the gang Slater was dying so they'd be dicks to him, to make him move to Hawaii so he could eliminate his clearly superior competition for dating Kelly, and didn't learn any lessons from any of it. Zack Morris is trash.
Zack Morris is trash.
So these have been a nice walk down memory lane because you can kind of see how like certain parts of like an episode they're talking about will click, and then I'll like, oh yeah, I remember, yeah, like the second he started pouring the ants down Slater, I remember the way, that weird way he did that, like, because that's not how you dance. I'm sorry, I said dance because that's what it looked like. That's not how you scratch. It's not. He's just like really intricate, like back forth and then over here, back forth and then over here. But yeah, I mean, it's like when this kind of breaks it down. If this didn't exist and I just watched an episode, I would have thought all the things that he said for sure. Like, yeah, I remember Zack Morris being a huge like D-bag, but that was part of his like charm, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, Ferris Bueller never did shit like this. And he was a very charming character. So I guess for some reason I'm just like put Zack in that same category. Zack being Zack, dude. So anyway, let me know in the comments, like, what do you think his biggest offense? It doesn't have to be from one of these episodes, but like, what has been the worst thing that Zack Morris has ever done, just from your memory? You're remembering it now and thinking, what a huge piece of subhuman garbage. And if you like these videos, hit that like and subscribe button like they owe you money, because like I said, this is going to be sort of experimental. I'm just going to see if people like watching these. So yeah, let me know if you like them. Liking and subscribing does that. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you on the next one. I will do the next 3, and then judging by how these 2 videos do, I will go ahead and do the rest of season 1, so that'll be the last 4, then God willing season 2. Anyway, adios muchachos and muchachas.